Hey, how's it going? Daily check-in today, and three things really to report on. Firstly, had a very productive phone conversation with a prospective client. It's kind of come out of the blue a little bit. It's actually a client I have worked with in the past. In fact, it was one of my very first clients for workplace well-being work, which included I think actually this one was just presenting, so I didn't combine it with the online programs, but it was workshops. It was between this company and the parent company. There were multiple workshops, and it was a really kind of good starting point for me. And this is something completely separate, but they're looking at kicking off a wellbeing program initiative within the organisation, and there's an opportunity to be involved. So for a good phone call today, and I'm meeting up with a chap involved who's running this next Tuesday. So hopefully I should get some more information there as to whether or basically how this is looking, what the budget is, and what I can bring to the table. So that was very positive today. Second thing, I had another good conversation on the phone with the chap I met at the PSA meeting that I mentioned about in a previous update, and we were talking about. Well, he basically said, just give me a call, and I'll give you a hand and tell you, give you some pointers. His specialist subject is phoning up companies, phoning up organisations, and speaking to the right person, and not selling, but introducing yourself. And that's kind of where I've been. I've talked about this several times. I just haven't been able to pick up the phone and dial numbers of companies and try to locate the right person. And then it's like, well, what am I going to say? So he's given me some really good kind of points on that. He was actually going to finish off the conversation. He had to dash off after about half an hour. So we're going to finish off that conversation tomorrow. So very good of him. Thank you very much. Because I feel if I can get that sussed, if I can get that side of things, this is the whole thing with outbound marketing, right? This is my big pivot. If I can get that side of things dialed in, it's still going to be the long game. There's still going to be a lot of work, and it's going to be a lot of luck to find the right company who's also happens to be looking for changing their workplace well-being or getting somebody to come in and talk to them about it. So it's not just a done deal. But it's certainly a step in the right direction, so that's good. And the third thing, so two kind of really positive things, and then the third thing is a bit of an odd one because it's I've got my seminar on a Thursday, and I've also actually got a talk at Toastmasters tomorrow. So it's the humorous speech contest, and I wouldn't really normally be that worried about that. I'm not worried about it, but I wouldn't be putting that much stock into it, apart from the fact that the contest is going to be a kind of like a showcase for Toastmasters, and I haven't really had a great deal to do with organising it, but I am one of the speakers, and I've also been asked to do a short, sort of 10-minute motivational talk on how Toastmasters has helped me with my speaking career professionally, which is fine. But I haven't spent any time yet preparing anything for that. I'm pretty sure that one's going to be okay. I'll have to spend some time tomorrow going through creating a speech. I've got a good idea. I just need to get the framework and then the specifics down. But I have spent some time today, a lot of time today, going over the seminar, which is on Thursday. Now, I wouldn't say I'm panicking about it, because I'm not, but I'm certainly feeling a little bit, oh my God, there's like so much prep work still to do. And it feels like I've got all these ideas, but they're all over the place. I want to be sharing this, I want to be sharing that, I want to be telling this story, I want to be getting to do this exercise, I need to make sure I'm clear with what I'm asking people to do. It's like, my head feels like it's just exploding with this, and like 2 days away. And I realise that I always feel like this when I'm delivering something for the first time. Every time. This exact same thing happened just before Milton Park a couple of weeks ago, which went really well. And every time I presented something for the first time, this is how I felt. And as soon as I kind of realised that and remembered that this is kind of a frustrating part, but it is a part of my process. I just need to, maybe it's because it focuses my attention and really draws me into the work that needs to be done. But I kind of always imagine myself, I'm going to get up there and it's going to be rubbish, and there's going to be people have come from quite a long way away actually to listen to this seminar, and they're going to be thinking, this guy has not prepared at all. This is just nonsense. What on earth have we spent all this time getting here and wasting this evening? So that's kind of, I've got to keep that in check, because that's something that it never quite takes over, but it's always present at this moment, in the kind of the week before, the few days particularly before a new presentation. And this is no different. Feels like the stakes are quite high for this one, because it's my own seminar. I've built it, I've put it on, I've marketed it, I've got people coming along to it, so it feels like the stakes are quite high. But at the same time, I know that this is just how I feel before I do any of these kinds of presentations, so it'll be all right. And actually I sat down this evening and started putting some work together on a PowerPoint, which I haven't done for a while, but I figured that it'll give me the framework and the structure, if you will, make it a lot easier. So I'm just going to use a PowerPoint presentation, not like loads of words and stuff, just a few pointers along the way to help me keep on track as well, make sure I don't run over or under time, which are two of my biggest concerns normally when I'm giving presentations. So yeah, it's a stressful day, you might say, but in a positive way. So a couple of really good positive steps forwards, and then just a day of battling with my own thoughts, and making sure I kind of recognise that any time I have those thoughts in my head, I acknowledge that they're just a part of the process, and I know that every time I've had that in the past, it's always turned out okay, always. So there we go. That's my check-in for the day. I'll be back again tomorrow. Like the video, comment if you have anything that you want to add to that, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.